Hi guys, Timster here, back for another video, and today, finally, we are starting the Need for Speed Prostreet series. So, I'm really pumped for this game, guys. I've played it before. I've done about just over half of the game. I've not actually, played it before. Fully, as in the entire way through, but we're going to be starting a new game, and this is a really good game. If you don't know what Need for Speed is, then you've clearly been living in a hole for like 10 years, because the series has been around for ages and ages and ages. It was one of the first, and still remains today as one of the best racing series that has ever been made. This is just one of the video games in the series, Need for Speed Prostreet, and I'm not really an expert on the Need for Speed series, so I have no clue whether this game actually follows any of the storyline, or even if there is a storyline. To be honest, I haven't really done my research about the actual series. All I know is the storyline of this game is quite simple, which is something I really like. I don't really like getting stuck into the storyline. If it's a racing game, I just like, playing the game. And this game has a lot to offer. There's car customization, which was amazing for the time, because this game was made in 2007, when I was 7 years old. And this game is just, when it was made, when it was first released, there's some stuff in this game that had never been done before. There's car customization, which at the time was quite simple, but this game was one of the pioneers in terms of making that option better. And the car customization in this game is one of the things that makes this game brilliant. There's also one other thing that is quite high-tech and new when it was released, was the fact that there were crash cams, so it basically showed you, if you crashed your car, how badly you'd crashed your car, and it did it in slow motion, and that's something that had never been done before either. So as well as being a really fun game to play, this game was also quite a major pioneer in the racing games industry. But anyway, enough of that. So this does have a storyline. It follows you as you are playing the character Ryan Cooper, who is an up-and-coming racing star who wants to get to the top and become the Street King. The only problem is there are a number of people, including the top Street King, called Rio, spelled R-Y-O, who doesn't want his title obviously to be taken, and is a bit annoyed, a bit jealous, a bit envious of Ryan Cooper's up-and-coming success. So Ryan is trying to beat Rio, and Rio is trying to keep his title. And you have to battle several of his gang on the way to becoming the Street King, which is the objective of the entire game. I've already completed the first opening race, and I've already completed the main event battle machine. The reason why I completed this was the cars were given to you, and they weren't your own cars, so you just had to basically get through the big event and the first race in order to get to the actual game, which is where we are now. So we have actually started the actual game now, so this is where we're going to start after I've done the event and the race, which I have done. So if we go over to my career map, you can see that I have already completed the main event and the race behind the garage, which I've also completed. And you have to complete both of these in order to actually start the game. So this is essentially and officially the start of the game, which is why I did not record it. But also what's happened is I've got two cars here that have been given to me to start with, and I will talk through both of these now. This is the Nissan 240SX. Now, I'm not a major car expert, but I do know some things about cars, and all I can say really about this one is that it was an incredibly popular car back in the 1990s, a really popular sports car made by Nissan. I would probably buy this if I could, but obviously Nissan have stopped manufacturing them, so there are hardly any left. and the only ones really that are left are not located in the UK because this was an American car. It was sold in America as well as in Asia, and so there aren't many left in the UK. Most of them are still in the USA, the ones that are remaining anyway and that haven't been scrapped. But this was a really good sports car for its time and extremely popular. It's very streamlined, has a very long front bonnet, as you can see, which made it quite fast. And so it will be a really good race car to get started with. I think that was I think it's going to be really good to have this car. And also, we're probably going to end up updating and customising this car the most. So be prepared to see a lot of this car during the game. Obviously, we'll be moving on to other cars when we get bored of this car and we have more powerful ones. Because I believe if I just look at if I do a dyno test, you can see that it has 140 brake horsepower and 152 pound-feet of torque, and basically you can see 0 to 60 miles an hour, 8.6 seconds. It's not really that brilliant currently because obviously in its default setting, but once we've customised it even more, it should be quite a powerful car when we have $20,400, I'm guessing, to play with. So that's that car, and I'm going to go ahead and customise that in a second. The second car we have is our drag racing car. That's just our normal race car. This is our drag racing car, which can only be used in drag events, and it is the Chevrolet Cobalt SS. This car was also immensely popular in the 1990s and 2000s, which I think is when it was released. I mean, it looks quite round and fat to me. Not very. It's meant to look muscular, but I just think it looks more round and fat than muscular. But that might just be my personal opinion. What I do like is that it comes with a spoiler, which obviously you can change, but that's just quite a nice touch. And it is a very good drag car. Don't underestimate it just because of its round family kind of car look. It is very good as a drag car. This will probably be our main drag car, possibly even our only drag car throughout the game. So we're going to end up customising this quite a lot as well. So without further ado, guys, I'm just going to customise these, and then I'll be back with you, and then we can start racing. Okay, I'm back, guys, after customising the cars. I have no clue what the dyno test on the Chevrolet Cobalt SS was before I customised it, but now it has 266 brake horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque, yeah, so I'm not really sure how that compares to before it was customised. But I have added a couple of things like better suspension, nitrous oxide. Unfortunately, I couldn't add a better engine to this, but oh well. I've added a couple of other things as well, and I've also customised its wheels and painted them. I haven't changed the paint of the bodywork yet or anything like that because, as I said in the last video, which if you haven't seen, please do go and watch because it will kind of explain everything then. I want you to help customise the car, so please put in the comment section what you'd like the car to look like, and I will do my very best to suit your tastes. So I've kind of left that for you guys to decide upon. But in terms of, I'll just update this. In terms of the 240SX, I have changed a lot when it comes to that. I've changed the wheels, their colour, I've added some vinyls, changed the paintwork, added in better engine, a slightly better engine, added some better suspension, better tyres, things like that. So this now has, whereas it did have about 141 brake horsepower, I think, it now has 185 brake horsepower, 181 pound-feet of torque, and I've knocked an entire second almost off the time it takes to get to 60 miles an hour. So I'm quite pleased with that. But anyway, guys, we're going to get on with some racing. Yeah, so I will be back in a second. Okay, I'm back. And Another thing I did just want to say, whilst I was trying to remember something, and I'm so glad I remembered it, because when I dominated Battle Machine, as in, you can see from the top I apparently dominated it rather than won it, but when I dominated Battle Machine, which was the event you had to dominate before you could continue with the rest of the game, I won a free car lot, which essentially means, and it's an extremely rare occurrence because the game randomly generates what you win, I was allowed to pick any car I wanted, apparently, and buy it. So glad I remembered that. Let's go over to the car lot and see what we can get for free. So some of these are locked because you need to be of a certain level before you can unlock them. But essentially, this is the car lot as well, and it's a good thing I did win this because it gave me an excuse to show you the kind of cars you can get in this game. Dodge Challengers, Dodge Vipers, Dodge Chargers, Shelby GT500, which is locked currently, unfortunately, as is the Ford Mustang GT, Ford Escort, which is surprisingly good, Ford Focus ST, that's locked, Ford GT. So we can win a good number of really impressive cars during this game. I'm not really sure why most of these are locked, but there's a Mazda RX-8, which is very tempting. Mitsubishi Eclipse is also very tempting to buy. Both of these I've had in the past, and they're extremely good cars, even though they don't cost that much. Nissan Skyline's locked, Nissan GTR, Nissan 350Z, 370Z, Nissan 240SX. So we have got some really good cars in this game. Pontiac GTO, which is a good drag car. Subaru, ooh, that's very tempting to buy. Yeah. Okay. So I know what I'll do. Some of you, so you saw the cars there. You've seen the vast majority of the choice of cars in the game. So for the ones that were unlocked, in the comments section, could you please post what you think I should buy, and I will leave it up to you to decide that. And then, based on the most decisions, most requests in the comments section, I will buy that car. So I will keep the free car lot for now, and we will continue and begin racing. So you have to choose the cars that you want to get. We only have 2 cars, so we don't really have much of a choice. We have to take both of them with us. So, this is one of the events, Willow Springs. This is one of the first events, so it doesn't have very many things to complete. So all we need to do is complete 2 grips, a time attack, and a quarter-mile drag, which isn't too bad. And I don't know how much we'll win at the end, but let's go ahead and race. So a grip, for those of you who don't know racing terms, is basically just a straight-up race, as it describes here. I can't turn the tutorials off, by the way. I'm not sure why. I've looked in the settings as hard as I can, but I can't find any way of turning off the tutorial, which is a bit annoying. One thing I don't really like about this game is the tutorials, but oh well. I'm just going to turn up the volume a bit. So here is our car, which is pretty cool looking, to be fair. I hope you guys can hear me over the sound of the Dodge Charger, or whatever, in the back. That is our car. It is doing pretty well, looks pretty good. So, as you can expect from a 2007 game, the graphics aren't brilliant, but never mind, to be honest. Also, just a heads up for my racing, I would probably be disqualified if I was actually racing, because I am pretty I'm pretty aggressive when it comes to the track, so I would definitely be disqualified if I was racing in real life. I also wouldn't be as good, obviously, if I was racing in real life, because I'm crap here. But, yeah. Oops. I haven't played this game in nearly a year now, so yeah, I'm going to have to get back into it. But anyway, game looks pretty cool, car's doing pretty well. Graphics obviously aren't going to be wonderful, as I've said, because it's a 2007 game, but our car is smashing the other cars. And for your information, I do have this on the highest difficulty rating, so our car is doing pretty damn well, despite the fact that it's only been customised very, very slightly. It is smashing the other cars, which either means they're awful or we are doing really well. And I hope that it is the latter. But looking at the way I'm drifting and stuff around these corners and crashing into barriers, because I haven't played this game bloody so long, maybe it is the former. So this is one of my favourite tracks we're currently racing on. We do actually get to race on this track again, I think, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I'm really bad at this game. I need to get my head back into the swing of this track and this game in general, because the tracks are going to get a lot harder than this. This isn't the easiest track, but it is a really good one in terms of the fact that it has some difficult corners for you to overcome. So it does bring a challenge to you, this track, but it also has these lovely long sweeping straights like this, which are really fun to do, and really fun to just race along. You can literally let your car's performance really shine on this track, which you can't do on a lot of the other tracks that will come later in the game, because there are a lot of tight corners, and you don't, Jesus Christ, you don't really get a, let's just put on some final burst of nitrous, you don't really get to show off your car's full performance on the tracks with tight corners. But we won that race. I am aware that the video is going to be extremely long, and for that reason I'm now going to stop it after the first race. So you guys have seen what the customization is like, and what the actual racing is like itself. I broke a track record. So that is what is coming up, guys. There is going to be far better stuff than that coming up. Please put in the comment section how you'd like me to customize the cars, or any future cars that I might get. And please also comment on which car you'd like me to get out of the choice we saw in the car lot that is unlocked. And I will choose a car next episode, hopefully, if I get some comments. If not, I'm just going to leave it until somebody comments, which might be for the entire game. Who knows? Who knows how interested you are in this game? I don't know. Some of you may love this game, some of you may hate it. We will see when I upload this video. But yeah, comment down below, guys, on anything to do with this game, whether it be the customization, the car I choose, or whether you just like or dislike the game. And if you don't want to comment, then leave a like if you like it, dislike if you dislike the video, and please subscribe as well if you haven't already, and I will see all of you guys for another video very soon. Goodbye.